All right, welcome to chapter 18 of your 2024 story. I'm Michelle, owner and founder of Movara Fitness Resort, and we are diving into a few heavy chapters, heavy and extremely important, and I'm excited to talk about. Last week, the last several weeks, we've been talking a lot about the physical body, and we are going to be going into the mind. We are going to be talking this week about building mental toughness. As we address each of these chapters will help you create the story you want to be living. This week, we are diving into a critical component of our wellness and success. Again, building mental toughness. Mental toughness is about cultivating resilience, determination, and the inner strength to navigate the challenges and setbacks that life inevitably brings. Mental toughness is not about suppressing emotions and enduring pain silently. It's about developing a resilient mindset that helps you face difficulties with courage and perseverance. It is the ability to remain focused, confident, and controlled regardless of the circumstances. That's a big deal. When we talk about overall health and wellness, we've talked about the nutrition, we've talked about the physical side, and really the third aspect of overall health and wellness is the emotional, mental side of health and wellness. So they're all equally important. One can't exist without the other. And if we're strong in one area and weak in the other two, we're going to feel it. We're not going to be able to see success in achieving our health goals. In our journal prompt this week, we have you reflect on a situation where you demonstrated mental toughness, where you were able to be confident and controlled regardless of the circumstance. What challenges did you face and how did you overcome them? What did this experience teach you about your own resilience and determination? So it may be something that happened recently or years ago that you were able to be mentally tough. I want to talk about 4 pillars of mental toughness, and I love the first one. They're all extremely important. The first one is something that I see with guests that come to the resort. At the end of the week, now not Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, but by Friday, every single guest is telling me that, wow, I am capable. I am capable of more than I thought. They leave confident. They came in less than confident and they leave confident. And they leave confident because they start to believe in their abilities and they understand their worth is truly foundational. They cultivate a positive self-image and they practice self-affirmations. So again, maybe by the beginning of the week, in fact, it's not uncommon that a guest will say, Monday or Tuesday, I was looking for flights on how to get home. But by Friday, literally 5 days, I mean, it's crazy how in just a short amount of time and in a few days, they're starting to say, I can actually do this. I am strong. I am an athlete. This is, I am worth it. So the self-affirmations come naturally because they're proving to themselves that they are capable. And when guests go home, I tell them that is the number one thing that will help them continue to see results is to remember that they are capable. And when we do fall and when we struggle, because we will, if not, regularly, daily, if we remember that, I can do this, I am capable, that confidence is one of the strongest pillars that you can have when it comes to mental toughness. So another pillar when it comes to our mental toughness is control. Now that word is something, again, I hear often when guests come to the resort is learning how to let go of control. So focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. This empowers you to take action where it really counts. So I don't know about you, but I know for me, for sure, I was forced to let things go that I could not control. And I got to a point where like I had no other choice but to say, Michelle, you have no control over any of this. And actually ask myself, well, what do I have control of? And it was a lot less than I want. It was like, you know what? I have control of whether I get up in the morning. I have control whether I have a good attitude or not have a good attitude. I have control of the food that I consume. I have control of whether or not I go move. I have control of me and only me. And that's tricky. That's hard, but I promise you that can be a very strong help when you're building mental resilience and mental toughness. If you have the confidence and remember you're capable, and then you focus on the things that you have control of and let go of the things that you have no control of, game changing. Oftentimes we sit there and we get stuck in, but this and this and this and this and this isn't turning out and that's not turning out and they're not doing this. And, so many other things that we have no control of that we mentally drive ourselves crazy, mentally cause ourselves anxiety, mentally put ourselves into a deep depression when we focus on the things that we have no control of. Okay, the third pillar is challenges, and to view challenges as opportunities for growth, because we will have challenges, and oftentimes we avoid challenges because we avoid growth. But if we look at challenges as an opportunity for growth and we embrace change and adversity as part of our journey, game changing. If we look at challenges of like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is so hard. Yeah, guess what? You're going to struggle with mental toughness. So again, confidence, letting go of control, taking control of what you do have control of and where it counts, looking at challenges differently and accepting them as opportunities for growth. And the last is commitment. So set clear goals and pursue them with dedication. Persistence is key to overcoming obstacles. I've always said this, and you'll always hear me at the resort. We talk about consistency is more important than intensity. Just sticking with something and being consistent and having that commitment. So you may set your goal of getting healthier. Maybe it's losing X amount of weight, X amount of pounds. And it's going to be tough. You're going to struggle. But if you remember that one, you're capable, let go of the things you don't have control of and focus on the things you do have control of, accept the challenge as an opportunity for growth, but then stick to that commitment, and you'll be able to get up when you fall. You'll be able to, when you have setbacks, you'll be able to step forward. So I just want to finish with 4 strategies for strengthening your mental fortitude. And we've talked a lot over the past chapters of mindfulness and meditation, but this can be powerful in your mental resilience, your mental toughness. Practicing these types of practices can enforce focus and reduce stress, building your emotional resilience. Last week, we talked about the power of just, our breathing and meditation and mindfulness. That can be a big part to your mental success and mental toughness. A lot of people will start a meditation practice or yoga, Pilates, just different journaling, meditation at night, using different apps, and they'll see their mental toughness improve immensely. You're gonna not be surprised by this next strategy, but it's physical fitness. So a strong body supports a strong mind. Again, looking at it like a triangle, an equal-sided triangle. You can't have the 2 without the third. You can't have one. So if you're just physically fit, but not taking care of your nutrition and not taking care of your mindset, that you're not going to get very far. But a strong body, if you're just focusing on the meditation and the mindfulness and doing a lot of, you may see a counselor, which is amazing and so good, and I highly recommend. But if you're not taking care of the physical body, it's going to be tough to have that equal-sided triangle. And the strong body, I promise you, for me, it's an extremely powerful medicine. I laugh sometimes. I will get up on the wrong side of the bed often. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's genetic. I don't know if it's hormonal. It's situational. It could be a lot of different things. But for whatever reason, I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, da 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 da, and I'm not very happy. Sometimes I'm really ornery. My husband will be like, oh, don't talk to mom. But it's quite powerful and amazing how even just getting outside and walking for 20 minutes, I'm a different person. I promise you that getting physical movement that's where the motivation comes. That's where, strength, it will strengthen your mind. So regular exercise not only improves your physical health, but man, it builds mental stamina. I think even more so. I'm a big believer in improving your mental capacity with physical activity. I know it's not always exciting or fun and we don't feel like going, but I have done it for so many years that I will do it because I know I mentally feel better when I'm done. So the third thing is learning from failure. This is a very important thing that we can master and look at failure. You know, it's not even failure. It's you're learning. In fact, we all have. I talked to a guest yesterday. She's, man, if I had $1 for every pound that I gained and lose, I'd be a billionaire. We all would be, right? And instead of being like, oh, why can't I stick with it? Why do I keep messing up? No, like this is all part of the process. And the alternative, I've started saying this, and you've probably heard me say this already, but the alternative of like quitting isn't better. So we just keep working at it. We just keep trying. It's something I tell guests all the time. Listen, it's something I have accepted, and the moment that I did accept it, it changed everything. When I just accepted, I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with the fact that this is going to be an ongoing process, and I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm going to make choices that are less than great for my physical body. But what do I do? What do you do? In fact, my husband always says, so what, now what? So what, now what? Now what are we going to do? So learn from mistakes. Instead of fearing mistakes, learn from them. Each setback is a lesson that prepares you for future challenges. Honestly, every time a guest comes who hasn't really stuck with their goals or maybe looks at like, oh, I've gained all the weight back, I'm like, guess what? Now you have another thing that you can learn from, and we get closer and closer each time. So I never look at it as, I'm like, life happens, it's challenging, and we get closer and closer each time. So the fourth thing that we can do is get some social support. So lean on your community. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. One of the things that I had no idea would make Movara as amazing as it is the community. I am now a huge believer in the power of community because I've seen it. I have witnessed the power that comes from the connections. It's really electrifying to go into the dining room and hear and talk with guests that have made connections so powerful that it's palpable. You can really feel the power of the community. It's pretty awesome. But learning to share struggles and seek advice can provide new perspectives and strengthen your resolve. So it's not really from what guests get from us, it's oftentimes what they get from each other. I love this quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger that strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. I love that. When we decide to not quit, to keep trying, that's when we become strong. That's when we realize, I've got this. I can do this. So just a quick reminder to recap of the pillars of mental toughness: confidence, remembering that we're capable; control, letting go of things that we have no control of and embracing the things where what we do have control of; looking at challenges as opportunities; and then setting clear goals and commit to make this a commitment. Like this is something I'm going to commit to until I figure it out, until I get closer. And I promise you that you will. And as you include those strategies of meditation, physical activity, learning from failures, support and community, I'm going to throw in there also nutrition. I think I know for me, when I overconsume or I consume too many things on a regular basis, I struggle mentally. I don't feel good. I'm not I'm not my best self. Nutrition can be a really important strategy for improving your mental fortitude as well. So that is it on mental toughness. That wraps up chapter 18. Next week, chapter 19, we are going to navigate through anxiety, which is another heavy topic and an important chapter to address. And I think more people struggle with anxiety than we realize on different levels. So I'm excited to talk about chapter 19 with you and navigate through anxiety. And I love that each week we have another opportunity to write the story that we want to be living. Put pen to paper, challenge yourself to really ask yourself how you're doing in each one of these chapters. And as you do, I promise you'll get closer and closer to the story you want to be living. So thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.